is the white man more intelligent than the black people, or the black people are more intelligent than the white people? Maybe we can come to this conversation and maybe we know who is more intelligent. But guys, just from this topic, I'd like to introduce to you some amazing guys who are with me, and they're gonna be siding who is intelligent or who is not intelligent. Maybe I can start with you, Davicent. Introduce yourself. Yeah, introduce yourself and maybe tell us who are you, or on which side are you, because
I support the motion. I think an average white man is more intelligent than an average black man.
Okay.
It's I know it's a polarizing sentiment. It might seem derogatory and so demeaning and condescending, but sometimes facts are facts. I'm that type of a person. You better feed me with a bitter lie, with a bitter truth than a sweet lie.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I can get back to you, T. Maybe you can introduce yourself. Yeah.
It's your boy T, man. So, Maze, yeah, man. Me all day, every day, we are always searching for the truth, Maze. Na unaona vile dunia iliumbwa. It's about the black versus the white man. Question ni, jiulize, why did the white man come and pay that food? Starts from there. Kumaanisha, either we had something special,
Okay.
and if I had something special, that makes me special.
Okay, so you are on
Bro, black, bro.
The black people are way more intelligent than the white people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel black is the smarter one here. No wonder brain drain in a happen.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that introduction. Maybe I get back to you, Mr. Davicent, and
Gang.
and I want you to give me maybe in 5 minutes. Can you give us maybe the reason as to why you're saying the white people are way more intelligent than the black people?
So apparently, actually, the way I've told you, you want to understand the concept where I'm coming from. David said it's a very
It's okay.
David Saint is a very, very open-minded and empathetic person with a very, very accommodating mindset. So this conversation, I know I'm going to be, keep in mind our audience, 95% is black. I'm going to be the villain in this conversation, but fuck it, bro. I'll always side with the truth. I don't care whether 1 million people are against me, I'll always go with the truth. So apparently, before I come to this, and I might be wrong. First thing, there's no, this information is not universal truth. This is according to my own perspective. You get? I think white people are more intelligent than black people. And before people start calling me, oh, I'm brainwashed and stuff like that, you need to understand my concept and my perspective, where I'm coming from. Okay. So tell me, ever since we gained independence, more than close to 70 years ago, you get, we've been doing so many things up to then. Inventions, back and forth, solving problems. First thing, we need to understand what is intelligence. Intelligence is the ability to understand, disseminate, and apply that knowledge into something that can solve a problem. Okay. That is intelligence. The ability to identify a problem and solve it. You get? That is the intelligence we're talking about. And so far, evidence to show that black people are more intelligent is very, very diminishing. I was taking more than top 10,000 inventions. Guess what? Okay. 99% inventions, they are white people. Let's say, for example, when you're talking about America, most of the greatest inventions, we're talking about AI, technologies, electric cars, those are American inventions. Let's go to China back in history. Gunpowder, painting, plastic, manufacturing, China is leading. Let's go to a country like Germany with the greatest minds of Albert Einstein. When you're talking about science, physics, the laws of nature, Germany is leading. When you go to Britain, the greatest man of the greatest scientist, or the most intelligent person who said, or we normally call him the father of science. the amazing Isaac Newton was a Briton. All the greatest inventions done by Europe. Europe invented the first, we normally call it steam engine in 1712. You get? Just that's the tip of the iceberg. We can keep on going. You can see through India, they are good with the medicine and everything. So you've realized each and every time, Africa, we are the last, the backbenchers sitting, waiting for people to bring technology to us. 70 years down the line has passed. That as in history, we've traveled down the memory lane. Okay, we're in present right now. Kevin, we created the viaduct, the James Gishuru underpass. That is a very, very simple engineering course that I think a University of Nairobi student can do. But guess what? It's being built by the Chinese. All infrastructure in Kenya is being built by the Chinese. Every crazy invention you can think about is being done by. When you talk, then another concept when you're talking about the white people, we don't mean only the British. We mean I know Chinese, they're not white, but in this perspective, the colored people, all of them we are calling the white people. Okay. Chinese, Indian, Middle Eastern, and stuff like that. But, and then when we come to us, the black people, so this is conversation when you're talking about white, we're also including the Chinese and other races for the concept of understanding. Okay, so when you see all these inventions, and then you come to reasoning and you realize, wait a minute, bro, there is nothing we are ever inventing or innovating. We are always that slow learner student in class, sitting at the back bench, waiting for the bright students to do the homework and the hard work. And lastly, our work is just to copy and paste.
Okay, maybe I can get back to you, T. I think you have.
I have
a very
lot to say, man.
Yeah, hey, you do.
It's bullshit. A Chinese can never be a white man. Never. You're wrong for that statement.
Okay, 100%. Remember, in his perspective,
that's bullshit.
Wait, let me. From the perspective of him,
he
defines a white person,
okay,
any person who is not black in color. So that's why. So maybe
give me time to talk.
Okay.
So me, according to my perception, a Chinese can never be a white man. Naelewa?
Okay.
A Brazilian can never be a white man. Not every person mwenye akona white color is a white man. That's bullshit. Unaelewa? Hatutaongea hapo ujinga. We'll only speak about the truth. A white man is a person from America, like Britain, okay, England, and blah blah. So unaelewa? Let me talk. Anyway, so me, I'll just give a white man credit for one thing. These people are so damn good at identifying the problem. Unacheki, ase kuna shida, hey, they are quick at that. Unaelewa? They are so good. Hii ni shida kwangu. You feel me? And once they identify their problem, they know where to run for their solutions. You understand? Bio watatoka mbio and go look for the solution. And who's the solution? Always a black person. Unaelewa? So it's common, ni kitu tunajua. It's something we know. Unaelewa? Most of this work tunajua wenye mtaona na wadanganya. We are the ones doing most of this work. Unaelewa? But they'll always take the credit. It is just like that. Unaelewa? Bro, nikikutana na sahi fundi aniambia ndo alijenga hii building, sitashtuka. Hata staff lynch, nitashangaa yeye ndo alichomo, nitashangaa alifanya nini hapa. Unaelewa? But haitanishtua. But ule jamaa mwenye hata akushow up for the first time ndo ana show up na ananiambia hii building ni yake, nitatii huyu jamaa. Najaribu kusema nini? Money speaks. Unaelewa? Na hakuna siku utaniambia I own a Toyota company na mimi ndo niko pale na service magari. But bro, any person mwenye anatoka hapo na gari yake akidrive atasemaje? Endeni kwa T. Umseta kutengenezea gari haitaharibika. But nigga, I'm just seated there reading my magazine. Unaelewa? So, kuna wale wanajua ku identify a problem na kuna wale wanajua ku solve. Unaelewa? Most likely mwenye anajua ku identify the problem is someone is asema smarter because atataka solution, because I'm identify this is a problem, I need to go beyond it. Unaelewa? Why for us the black person tumereiziwa in a way that sisi challenges kwetu is not a big deal. In fact, it shows our manlyhood, it shows our aggressiveness, unaelewa, being African. Unaelewa? Sisi wasa solve vitu ndogo. Bro, tulikuwa tunatembea hadi Mombasa. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's a manly thing kufanya. Unaelewa? Eric Omondi alikimbia mpaka Mombasa. You feel me? That's manly thing kufanya. Unaelewa?
Talk
That's
of
how it is.
intelligent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now talk of intelligent, Mwafrika. So this is where the white man comes and is like, yo, I need to get in Mombasa in 12 hours, maze. You understand? I need to get to Mombasa in 12 hours. Ata find out a way ya kutafuta solution. Unaelewa? Na since yendo ako na the resources, of course, yeye ni kunyamba, Waafrika tutanusa. Unaelewa? So yeah, according to my perspective, always and always, hakuna siku utaini convince a rich man anafanya more work than a poor person. Then a poor person anadu nini, endo ana lazy around. Unaelewa? Let's be real, a rich person anatafuta pesa so that apate freedom. Freedom ya kufanya nini? Kukua lazy. You get me? A poor person anafanyaje? All the time up and down, bro, hata kama ana kazi, then amezunguka tawe hata kutafuta pesa, but ana job. You feel me? So hakuna, there is no fucking day mute and convince ati nakuwa rich ndo ni work sana. Bro, in fact ni kuwa rich nataka ni work 30 minutes a day. I don't know if you're getting my point.
I'm getting it.
I need to be lazy, yo. Unaelewa? So that's the white man. The white man is always mwenye akona pesa. Yeye ndo akona mashine ya kuprint pesa yenye anakuletea kwako. You get me? So always mtu mwenye akona do will symbolize power kwangu. Not necessarily ni kwa sababu tu at this society right now tunaangalia do that great. Unaelewa? Kuna mtu anafanya TikToks za upuzi huku nje. Literally bullshit content, but since he has money, what you gonna say, nigga? Atapula hapa majiwago na hapa. Na ataangalia daktari, ataangaliwa akipita akitembea, at fucking surgeon atapita with no attention, but everybody will concentrate on that bullshit pale. Una get? So money is a symbol of power. Na ukiwa na hido, it doesn't matter what you do. Unaelewa? It doesn't matter how stupid you are. Unaelewa?
Okay.
Yeah, so ndo mimi nakwambia hiyo ndo kitu yenye Afrika hatuna. But sasa uelewe mtu mwenye kona hiyo do haezi do the work. Unaelewa? Mimi na do nitafuaje nguo zangu nigga? I have the money. Why? Tell me how. Unaelewa? Mimi niko na do nigga, how the fuck am I going to drive myself nigga? Tell me how. Nataka tu ni mtu mwenye nitakuwa na control kama machine. Oya piga hapa kona. Shut up. Oya niweke KFC shanifikisha. You feel me? Hakuna wote and convince I'll be the one doing the most. Unaelewa? So mi kwangu, yeah, Africans ndo tuna toil tukiwaundia what they want. Unaelewa? It's us. It's us.
Thank you so much.
So
Let me get back to you, Vincent.
let me
Just wait, just a little bit. So let me get back to you because you've talked about invention, you've talked about everything. So can you justify the instances of slavery of the white people coming into African continent and taking them as slaves to do their work and to do everything for them? Can you justify? Because in as much as you're saying they have done so much invention, so many things, but remember sometimes there can be invention and somebody taking the credit is somebody else. So can you maybe justify it?
So first of all, Tevin, let me debunk some of the things Kate is trying to say. And from your point of view, Kate, you are wrong. Any person coming from America is not a white man. We have black people in America. They are not black. We have black people in America. Their identity doesn't say black America. It say American. We have Spanish in America. We have Latin in America. Okay. So also you, from your definition, you're also wrong. When you talk about white, we are talking about an ethnicity. And the way I've told you, yes, I know the Chinese people, they are not white, but get it from my perspective. You get, they are different. Out of all the races, black people, we are the one that stand out completely compared to the other one. Okay, just get it from me. So this is the concept, another thing of trying. You're getting it out of context. This debate, this is one thing, Tevin, that I have a problem with the black people. This victim mentality, okay? Thinking that, oh, we are oppressed, we are doing this. Stop politicizing the debate. Conversation is never about being rich, being poor and stuff. We are talking about Tevin. We are talking about intelligence. Okay, you coming here and telling me that the white person, and then there's one thing you say that white people are good at identifying a problem. Do you know you are clearly defining somebody who is intelligent? Do you know having the mindset to identify a problem? Do you know it is intelligence? Probably you never know. So in a different word, black people, we always call white people that, oh, they are good at identifying problems, but we are trying to tell they are smart in ways that we don't even know ourselves. This is the concept. Tevin, me seated in Europe and saying, wait a minute, maybe there might be a different world apart from this one of ours. Wait a minute, maybe there are minerals there. And thinking outside the box, isn't it that not intelligence? Europe, it's a very, very small country. Not Europe, UK, United Kingdom. United Kingdom, for your perspective, do you know Kenya in land size is bigger than United Kingdom? Okay? These people, they managed to came all the way penye walikuwa, wakakam, wakatu colonize and everything in our mindset, and they made us believe in things that right now we're thinking that they were trying to lie. Isn't it that not intelligence? You identify a problem, you get whatever you want to get out of it. Yes, they're intelligence, but they use their intelligence in a negative way. I agree. Okay, another thing you're trying to say that the black people were the one doing the donkey's work, the white man is just there seated taking credit at the end. Okay, let your sentiment back up, let the action back up your sentiment. Name for me one crazy invention here in Kenya that you say this was done by a black person. I will wait.
Wait.
Or even in the
It's your
world.
turn to speak. Stamaliza. You can't just speak a minute.
You get. So that's one thing I'm trying to say. As I finish up, I want somebody to challenge me and prove me that I'm wrong. Okay, stop bringing. Don't get out of the equation. We're not talking about politics, manipulation, the victim
No,
card
I
mentality.
think
we are talking about intelligence.
Okay.
Intelligence. Okay. An average white person and an average black person. That's what I'm trying to talk.
I did ask
talk
you this
about.
question about invention and some of the things that happened during the pre-colonial period, and at the time, people were being taken as slaves to the US, to some of these countries, and you realize some of the invention that came into the limelight. There are some people who came up with the credit. There are people who took the credit. How can you justify that maybe it's a black person who did the invention and it's the white person who is taking the credit?
How do we call it? The proof, the burden of proof is on Keith. You get, he's the one saying that the white people are taking what? Are taking the credit if, by invention that black people have done. Another thing, Tevin, the one I'm trying to say about what you're trying to talk about, those are allegations. Kuya kuniambia, you know, we have invention that black people. I don't agree. We have some invention black people have done.
Let me give you an instance in South Africa. One of the first heart surgery was done by a black person, right? In South Africa, right?
Wait a minute, you're getting it wrong.
Okay, it was then.
It was the first heart surgery being done in an Africa. It doesn't mean it has never been done before. The same thing we did in, these are things in developed countries, they have done it before. Bro, we've done, countries like India, they have done they have taken a heart of a pig and put it in a human being. We've done, that is still a story to us black people. Okay, so let us not involve emotion in this debate. Okay, I know it has. I've told you several times. Me, it's better you tell me a bitter truth than a sweet lie.
Okay,
and
thank you so much. Let me
just
get back to T before I get back to you. Maybe from the invention that you've heard about Albert Einstein, you've talked about Isaac Newton, we've talked about also Carl Benz, who started the motor vehicle industries. Maybe in terms of intelligence, can you justify your way and say maybe one invention that an African person maybe has come up with so that we can know that the black people are way more intelligent than the white people?
Exactly.
Okay. I would like to say this. For now, I don't want to say wrong names kwa sababu sijaziandika, and actually my phone is over there recording. At least I have some few names hapo hivyo.
Okay.
But so I would like to say this. Unaelewa? Let's not go to the names. Unaelewa? Let's just go to the fucking reality.
Okay, can you maybe give us instead of names, can you just give us one inventions maybe that okay.
I would say
just
this. I would say this.
Okay.
Jua, an Indian is not a white person. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
Black Indians
But they are
wamejaa.
not black.
Unaelewa? Most medicine comes from the Indian. So I would say it's the black people doing it. Unaelewa? Because black Indians, we are, you feel me? Unaelewa? Sisi ni watu moja somehow. So I would like to say a white person is a person from America. Nataka uelewe ni mwenye ako na machine ya kuprint pesa. Tevo, you won't tell me we mwenye una print pesa utatoka uende uanze kuprint pesa. You'd rather print it than pay someone to do it. Ni ukweli ama uongo? That's the bitter truth. So tusitoroke ukweli, no matter how painful it is. Unaelewa? Yes, we are doing it. We've been manipulated. Hiyo ni kitu. Mimi pia nimeingia hapa hivi nikapata tulikuwa tushamanipulatiwa. Unaelewa? Walikuja huko na hadi tunasoma history. These people invaded our land. Unaelewa? Killed people, killed mifugo, took us as slaves. Unaelewa? But I believe that's false history pia. Hizi ni vitu. Have you ever sat down na ukajiuliza white supremacy ilitoka wapi? Unaelewa? Ani watu walijua they were out of the picture. Unaelewa? They were knowing the picture. They had to come up with a plan. Unaelewa? Plan ya kufanya nini? Ku make sure wako supreme. Acha nikwambie Tevo. Mtu mkora si utamuita mjanja? Of course ni mtu mjanja. It doesn't matter ame wash msena ako na million. That guy is smart to do it. That is what jamaa anajaribu kuniambia. So hiyo credit itapatia wazungu. I say they are so smart at ujanja yao. Unaelewa? But mtu mjanja hana the knowledge. Unaelewa? Kuna intelligence huko na you are smart in some way that without even the knowledge you can get what you want. But sasa mimi mwenye niko na knowledge, who am I? I'm anti the power. Unaelewa? Haya. That is number one. Number two, hao watu tunajua hawana resources. Unaelewa? They had to be superior ndo wakujwa invade resources zetu. Kuanzia the food structure, kuanzia nini. Unaelewa? And let me tell you one fact yenye mjaijua, this is the bitter truth. Africa is the biggest continent in the world, but atlases zitakwambia otherwise. Unaelewa? Huwezi ku-expect aka continent kadogo hivi kana feed the rest of the world. It's impossible. Hata wewe kufanya mathematics yako, hii shamba itafijia Roysambu nzima. It's impossible. Unaelewa? It has to be bigger ndo feed Roysambu nzima. You get me? So Africa is a very vast country, but since akunanga ule mwenye atatoka tu, kuna watu napenda vile watu wanajituma saa hizi. Unaelewa? Watu wanajitumanga kujaribu kuonesha ukweli with their cameras. Like social media imefanya watu wana air out their facts. Unaelewa? Watu wanajaribu kufanya vitu kukuonesha reality. You'll find someone going out in a boat anajaribu kutafuta hii Antarctica nione ni wapi. Unaelewa? So I appreciate that about people. But there's too much lies tumefediwa just for white supremacy to exist. Unaelewa? Mi kwangu hawezi ni convince a white man can't think. Unaelewa? Mi kwangu tu a white man can't think. Unaelewa? Okay. These people have to be helped to think. Unaelewa? Okay. And the people doing most of their thinking ni watu wa gani? Ni sisi. Acha niseme, who invented a secretary? Was it a black man or a white man? That was a white man. So that secretary amsaidie kufanya kufikiria.
Doesn't that prove intelligence?
Exactly. Thank you for that question, David.
Let me finish something. That's what nimesema.
Solving a problem.
Unaelewa? So ulikuwa na chance yako ya kuongea. Mtu mkora nitamuita mjanja. If kama wote muona ni smart, then let it be like that. Unaelewa? Okay. But mtu mkora si mjanja, in fact ni mtu mjinga. Unaelewa? But ako na trickery ndani yake, na hiyo trickery ndio inafanya unaona mse ni smart. Then you are stupid. Unaelewa? Okay. Trickery ain't knowledge. Unaelewa? Trickery is bullshit. Unaelewa? Trickery ain't tangible facts. Akiwa peke yake na hiyo trickery atajitrika jiundie kitu. It's impossible. Unaelewa? So,
okay,
najua
people, let me get okay. Let me get back to Bethel. Maybe I can ask you this question because I'll get back to you. Let me, if I can ask you this question, maybe because we've had a lot of brain drain in Africa, and that is such a key concern issue in Africa. And some of the biggest tourist attraction, like the pyramid schemes, have just happened in Africa. Can you maybe justify that and say maybe it's not Africans who did build them, or it's the white person who apparently they appeared in somewhere and they came into Africa and they did build them? And two, you realize that there are so many things which are on, apparently they say they are on newspapers, they are all over the world, and they said no, Lake Victoria was discovered by a white beast. So does that mean that the black people are never there? They never existed? So what is not happening? Because I think you people just come in Africa, the white people come in Africa and they just take credit for things, and people are already there just because they didn't want to talk about it. Okay, maybe can you justify that?
Okay. It's my time. It's my time to speak. Tevin, that's a very good question. Okay, we will never know who built the pyramid, but in this situation, let me give the black man the
But
benefit
who
of that.
existed
Just a
in
minute.
Africa?
Just a
Who
minute.
first existed in
Yes,
Africa?
just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Let me give the benefit of doubt that it is black people who built the pyramids.
Exactly.
Okay, it's black people. Who
So
built
doesn't that means that the
Let me
black people
talk.
are intelligent?
Let me
Okay.
talk. Let
Okay.
me talk. Let me talk. Yes, let us give the benefit of doubt
Okay.
that black people are the people who built the pyramids.
In fact,
And the pyramids were built almost 4,000 years ago, right? Okay, the pyramids were built by the black people. Okay, do you know how many inventions we have? We have 10,000 plus invention. Let us assume out of the all greatest invention, out of the 10,000 plus invention, I haven't said we have some crazy inventions that were done by black people, like for example a dishwasher. The woman who discovered Wi-Fi, allegedly, though I'm not sure. We have some also good inventions that were done by black people. But now, when you do an overall calculation, out of 10,000, for example, inventions, you get only 27 or 30 inventions were done by black people. Still less than 1%. It doesn't debunk my reality. It's like me telling you, Tevin, I don't think you're intelligent. And then you remove an exam you did in class 4 and showed, you see, I got 80%. But in your KCSE, we saw you get an E. You're not proving me that you're smart. Okay. Through intelligence, it has to seem through
can we say
time
that
and
intelligence?
again.
Can we say that
again. You have given
intelligence
the
comes
benefit
from
of
the
doubt.
environment that you exist?
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to tell you is, yes, you're very right. Intelligence, your environment sometimes can highly affect your intelligence. Okay? For example, if you are an engineer, probably you will get somebody who is an engineer, the kid might become also an engineer. You might also shape your children to think like you, and also the environment will also shape you to be like them. So, in fact, an environment, that thing is proving my point. How does environment now make white people to be more intelligent?
Justified.
A white person, he has the resources. They are rich than
Resources.
us.
So,
Just a minute.
Okay.
They have resources than us. Let's say, for example, Tevin, a child to Elon Musk. You know, you've grown up by the age of 10 years old. You know how spacecraft work. You know rockets. You know ABCD. For example, you are a developer. Your kid knows knowledge about coding and stuff like that. On the other side, a black child from Turkana, 10 years old, bro, his worries, eat, food, his brain won't open up. And most definitely, the white counterpart will become more intelligent than the black kid. You get, let's not bring emotion and politicize this topic. And I've told you, for this conversation, I'm willing to be the villain. You can throw stones all you want, but until you prove to me that indeed, whatever we are doing, it's really, show me the evidence. Tevin, as simple as a system, let's say, for example, you hear Edwin Sifuna, my preferred presidential candidate. He had come up with a website, Linda Mwananchi website. Guess what? The developers who supposed to make sure to secure that network outside.
Doesn't that
He relies people from Europe to
are
make that just
no.
That
That cannot define that the white people are way intelligent than the black people. Because listen, you're trying to say just because the oversight is being done by the white person, it means that the black person is less intelligent.
I have so many examples to give. Okay,
let me get back to T. Maybe for us to be on the same side. T, we've had instances of some of these inventions about how structures in government, how the constitution came about, and we've had you've talked about who invented secretaries, because there is what you call segregation of duties, and the black person, the only way you can be able to do and to work things more efficiently is by segregation of duties. So can you justify maybe on your side and say maybe and give reason as to why you think the black person is way intelligent than the white person, despite him having come up with new structures, coming up with ideas that can be able to lead and govern a system. Like the 2010 constitution was not just mainly Kenyan thing. It was something that came from other nations, like the USA. The 2010 constitution came from there. And also, we had the invention of the banking, Wi-Fi's, we've had most of the time we've had these internet cables. They come from the US. Those information come from the US. Can you maybe justify that?
Okay, so I need you to be conscious nikiongea. Just try
Okay.
to think out what I'm saying.
Okay.
Unaelewa? Like, unaelewa?
Okay.
These people are superpowers right now. For them to be that superpower, they had to put systems in place to make sure zitawafanya wabaki hapo. Unaelewa? Ya kwanza was invent money. Kama unajua una resources, what will you do? So uta invent karatasi. Ndio uchukue hiyo karatasi ndio ununue nayo gold. Unaelewa? Kwa sababu una
Okay.
so utadunua.
Okay.
Una get?
Yeah.
So okay, conscious enough nataka kuonyesha this same person ndo mwenye alikuja nikaa akatembea Afrika yote akaona ina msee akadiscover Lake Victoria akadiscover nini. Bro, tulikuwa tuna swim huko,
Yeah, I know
kwani
that.
mimi sikuwa naiona?
Of course.
Ukakuja ukaniambia wewe ndo umediscover Mount Kenya. Nigga, it's written in books and people read. Hii ndo tunateach our kids, unaelewa? It's deep, the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole goes deeper than deeper, unaelewa? If kama hiyo ni basics tu kidogo wewe mwenyewe unaweza identify, how deeper can it go? Do you think even a car was invented by a black person? Do you think even if electricity was invented by a black person? Hakuna kitu iliai inventiwa na a white person. Kama wanaweza kudanganya penye unaishi, hao ndo walikuja kudiscover, yetu walikuja kutoa huko. I need you just to open up your brain, unaelewa? Nataka tufikirie. Mimi siko hapa kudis msema nini. I'm just here to pass out what I believe is reality ama what I see.
Okay.
Unaelewa? Kama mtu anaweza kudanganya na ame invent penye unaishi, ame invent mlima unapanda. Unaelewa?
Yeah, very
How
true.
deeper can he go to lying to you? Kama anaweza kudanganya hiyo, how deeper can he go to lying to you? Unaelewa? It goes deeper. That's why ndo nakwambia mtu mwenye ameshikilia pesa right now, najua hii building kani credit inafaa tupatie nani? Wase wa mjengo, right?
Okay.
Just being real, si ndio? But ule mwenye alitoa do, hata kama hakuwa pia, hata kama atakuja hapa after 9 years, huo ndo mtu tutati. Hivyo ndo vile system wameistructure. Makosa si yangu, I found it like that. Unaelewa? I found it like that, but mimi niko na it's an error. Unaelewa? Niko na it's an error. Hata tukienda kwa pyramids ndio tunajua 100%, tuseme ati tafadhali ama nini bro. Sisi ndo tumejenga hizi vitu. But wazungu bado wamekudanganya, white people live in Egypt. Na tumebuy that shit. Unaelewa?
Okay.
So like kuna uongo. Me I'm always pissed off to ule mse mwenye anakataa kuona ukweli. Unaelewa? But not you. Kwa ule mse mwenye anakataa kuona ukweli. Unaelewa? Wewe najua sasa you have a different side to defend.
Okay.
I need, unaelewa? Ni kitu tu you need to look at. Hizo pyramid bado tukienda tuangalie tuseme who built the pyramid. Tutaambiwa kings. Huyo king alibeba hata mawe moja. Did he? Na in fact tuko sure hata ni idea yake ilikuwa ya kujenga hiyo kitu. Did it? Sasa hizo ndo reality inafaa tukwe tunaangalia. Unaelewa? Talanta Stadium imejengwa huko. Kwa sure ni Ruto ndo Ruto zaidi.
No.
Thika Super Highway iliundwa hapa hivi ndio imesimama. Uko sure it was Kibaki zaidi? Acha nikwambie, these people, anybody having power kona mpaka watu wa kumfikiriria. Ye kazi yake ni kuchukua credit. What else will I do, nigga?
I think
Mi kazi yangu ni kupakwa jikuzi nikisipu juice
okay,
yangu.
in as much as
Tulia,
I'm not the
tulia.
one who
I've
is
not
making,
even
okay,
answered.
you've talked about Talanta Stadium and you've also talked about Thika Superhighway, because these are infrastructures that were built
By
but
black people and invented by black people, but that's the closest example is a
So,
kuonesha power.
okay, because
Unaelewa?
according to research, even the expressway was built by the China Bridge and Corporation. And some of the rivers, some of the bridges that were built by Kenyan engineers. Some of the engineering,
sorry for that.
like if I can give an example of some of these roads in Kenya, they are always prone to failing. They're always prone to failing. Doesn't it mean that the black people are not well versed with applying the intelligence well into the infrastructure until they have to call the outside countries, like for example China, for example, we are defining them as white because that color, we just want to separate the races, but for easy understanding of it. So most of this invention, most of the infrastructures, you see Tanzania, the Samia Suluhu Stadium is being built by a white person. There's SGR, which is being which has been budgeted for around 500 billion. I don't know. It's being built by a white person. Why doesn't why do they not just give to a black person because they have intelligence?
Thank you.
Haya, let me answer that question. Nilikuwa najaribu kutumia example ya Talanta Stadium and Peter Super just to show you power.
Okay.
Unaelewa, kuonesha power just sits down. Na chenye ina nyamba is what the rest have to nusa.
Okay.
Unaelewa? So, mimi nitumia hiyo kuonesha example.
Okay.
What I'll say is this. Unaelewa? The reason tunaita this Chinese wakuja kutujengea is because Chinese is not a white person. Taka uelewe hivyo. Unaelewa?
Okay, let me just be extremely correct. The reason as to why we said white is because they don't resemble this
I
kind.
understand,
You
your
understand?
concept.
So what we are trying to say
Okay,
is
that's what
we are
December.
trying to
Let's not
differentiate
get it
between
wrong.
we are trying to differentiate between people from other continent and the blacks. You understand?
because
Africa,
we don't have a collective name for people from
Let me
China,
say
Europe,
this.
Yeah.
as in
Let me say
people
this.
from us.
Okay.
Basically, all a white man did was trickery. Na mimi nikisema white man namaanisha white man. Mimi sijai kutumia white man kumaanisha Chinese.
Okay.
Unaelewa? Mimi natumia
Okay.
reality.
Let's go to your concept, okay?
So, a white man kwangu yeye ni trickery. Unaelewa? Kani trickery nimempatia. Hiyo game ameiva. Unaelewa? But if you are putting them all together, all these Europeans, Japanese,
So
and Nini
justify
together,
the
then
the
that
black
becomes a
person
different
is
topic.
intelligent.
That becomes a different topic.
Okay.
According vile tulianza hii mimi nilijua tunaongelea wazungu literally from America.
Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. Then justify
Unaendelea.
between them. Okay.
Tembo, will you give me time to talk?
No worries.
Forgive
Forgive
time
you.
to talk. Vile
Okay.
nasikiza swali.
Okay, okay.
So it's like this. Tukienda hapo, what I would like to say is this. Unaelewa, kuna kitu inaitwa technology. Unaelewa? And there is this something we call brain drain. Brain drain ni nini? Ni mzungu anatoka majuu anakuja kufanya kazi Kenya.
No.
Ni nini? Ni
It's a-
mtu anatoka Kenya anaenda kufanya kazi majuu.
Okay.
Inaitwa brain drain. Why do you think it's called brain drain? They identify the best from us na wanatoa among us. Unaelewa? They'll take the best of everything. They'll take the best of our engineers. They'll take the best of our teachers. They'll take the best of our doctors.
Can we say those people are going there because of
Devo, will you
opportunities?
give me time to speak? If
Okay.
you keep on asking hata kabla
Okay, okay.
sijajibu, will I
Okay,
finish?
thank you. Okay.
It's like this.
Okay.
Brain drain ni nini, unaelewa? Brain drain ni taking all the experts wako huku because they have money. Wewe unamlipa 24 million. Fine, mimi nitamlipa 200 million. Wewe utakata pesa.
Okay.
Taswitch huko hivyo. Unaelewa? So reality wakishachukua experts wetu wote, what are we left with?
We are
Sijasema
left with
every
nothing.
black person
Okay.
is an expert.
Okay.
Unaelewa?
We are
Nimesema
left with-
we are the pioneers. Sisi ndo brains. Unaelewa? That's why anytime you never talk of brain drain, ni mtu kutoka, it's a black person being taken from Africa, either ameenda India, either ameenda China, either ameenda Japanese, any of those countries, I'll call that brain drain. But yeye akikuja kutujengea hii, umesikia nani amesema brain drain imehappen?
Okay.
We know this is wamekuja kutujengea kitu yetu, unaelewa? There's a black person huko amedesign kitu yote, au ni kuja tu kudo the completion of the work because maybe they are trying to be good. Kuna story, there's this theory nilisikia ati walikuwa wanachukua wafungwa wakuja watujengee kwanza. It was not even the natives wenyewe wa country wenye watafuta kazi.
Okay.
They were helping people from jail, ama government iliamua ku benefit by kupeleka wafungwa waunde. Sijui if that theory is true or not. Issue niliona wa Chinese wamekuja huku wamejenga, wameenda South Africa, wameenda Nigeria, but when did you hear brain drain imehappen? Unaelewa? Na hata wakikuja kujenga wanajenganga kitungori kaenye iko kwao. Hapana, ni kwa sababu hiyo ngori yenye iko kwao si ndo tulienda kujenga. So vile sisi tumekaa sit with a kung fu master, then you learn kung fu because ana practice kila siku, si ndio? So how the best wenye sisi tumepeleka huko wamewaundia hizo vitu zao the best, they've learned from them. Unaelewa? Then sasa ndo wamerudi. You understand? It's good kufungua perspective yako na kuona ukweli. Unaelewa?
Okay.
Mimi sijui the word brain drain ilitoka wapi, but all the time I'll give a black person credit.
Okay.
Unaelewa?
Okay.
Sijasema any black person. Unaelewa? Kuna conditions wametuweka. Tevo, of course kama mimi na print pesa, how will I allow your family to be richer than mine?
Of course.
Exactly. So nitaeka all perspective to make sure my country is the best. In fact, a first world country. Na penye sana natoa resources, I'll need you to be a third world country so that I can easily access and exploit you. Unaelewa? And I'll do anything ndo usitoke hiyo bracket.
So in that question,
Unaelewa?
let me get back to you, Devicent, because you've been talking about invention, but let's be honest, an average African guy or lady or woman or boy or girl, if you ask them questions about America, they know. If you ask an average normal American person, they know nothing about Africa.
Okay.
Nothing. And it means we have the capacity to withhold more. Them, in as much as yes, they have come up with something, it's just because they are reading or they are in one line of maybe an expertise. That does not show that you are more intelligent than somebody, because you can be good in some way and you can be bad in some other ways. Let me give you a real example. Kenya became the first African country, and not the first really, but one among African countries that invented the mobile money transfer, and it had never happened, like literally. So can you justify maybe in your own way, because
I have
it
understood.
was
Let me
never
now
done
speak.
by a
Okay.
European person.
Okay,
These
let
are
me
some of the
speak.
inventions that happen in Africa. Two, if I may ask you, because you're always talking about the invention of medicine, you're always talking the invention of 1, 2, 3. Do you know that the traditional herbalists were able to cure some of these serious diseases in Africa, and they were able to get them well, even without the invention of that is just modernization. We have the traditional. Doesn't that mean that Africans are not intelligent?
You've asked so many questions.
Yes, I need you to answer them.
There are some things I wanted.
Answer
I think let me start by, before I come to your question, let me start by replying to Kate.
Okay.
It's extremely hilarious. This conversation is extremely amazing to me. You see,
Okay.
Kevin, if you're very keen, this guy has been literally calling the white man intelligent, in other words. Guess what he has been saying?
Tell me.
These people, they have put system. These people, they have done this. These people, they have done this. The concept of brain drain. Kevin, I want you can go and check the division of intelligence. You get, you understand, comprehend, take in knowledge, apply. You get. So in short, we're saying you know intelligence in lack of when we sum it up is like being able to identify a problem and give a solution to it.
Okay.
Everything this guy has been explaining is defining intelligence. Tevin, I'm a CEO. I realize if I do this whole job by myself, I'm making $20 million. But if I bring myself an assistant, we can boost the sale from $20 million to $40 million.
Okay.
That intelligent. That is intelligence, bro. This guy is talking
Okay.
about intelligence. The
Okay.
second thing, Tevin, I identify, wait a minute.
That's smartness,
Just
not
a bit.
intelligence.
Smartness is another word for intelligence, Kate.
Oh, whatever.
Tevin,
Okay.
Tevin,
Okay.
Tevin.
Okay.
Right now, you're seated like right now, okay? We are having a conversation. We need somebody who is a good HR, okay? We realize, let's say, for example, also sometimes intelligence is understanding your weaknesses and your strength. So I realize, wait a minute, black people are good at fashion. You get? White people are not that good at fashion. David, I say I want to come up with the best fashion industry.
Okay.
I've said black people are the best at fashion. I come to Africa. I look people who are good in fashion. I bring, I call
Take
them,
them to the
take
US,
them to the US. They help me come up with
big
the best
brand.
fashion brand
And
industry.
then you take all the
Isn't it that
credits.
intelligence? Isn't it that intelligence? Tell
If
me,
the world
the
looks
same
at
way, the
intelligence
same
like
way.
that,
I
then
mean,
yes.
also it's me speaking. Just a minute. It
Okay.
was my time speaking.
Okay.
Tevo, another concept.
Mhm.
When you're doing construction, designing and everything is not the big problem. I admit, I agree with you, Kate. We have a lot of buildings in Middle East where they were designed by black people. In fact, we have a Kenyan designer who has designed a lot of skyscrapers in Europe. Not in Europe, in Asia, even including Dubai and Qatar. I don't deny that one. But the fact that Tevin designing everyone can design. We've talked about Evo coming up with something unique. The engineering behind it, that is also intelligence. You guess what, Tevin? You see, this expressway, we will have transist weighing almost 100 tons of weight. I have to come up with a way where how I will build this flyover that it won't break. And then I'll be like, wait a minute. When we take this element, we combine with this element, we'll come up with the most strongest ion. That is intelligence, the one we are talking about. Not a designing. Everyone can design, which is still an intelligence, yes, but it is a low or mid-tier type of intelligence. Tevin, me saying, guess what? Instead of, we've realized traditional media, the way of communicating, it's very odd. I have to wait until 1 a.m. to get breaking news that happened at 10 a.m. Let us create social media. We can get real-time breaking news. That is intelligent. You are identifying a problem and giving a solution to it. And that's what he has been talking about. White people are good at that. And then another thing, what he has been talking about, Tevin, this is what we call the coping mechanism, the victim mentality card. Black people, we are good at that. You know, we could be so much intelligent, but the white man doesn't allow that. They have put up system that we can't succeed. Bro, so you admit, no matter how you, it's like Tevin, let me break it down. You could break it down in a layman's language.
Okay.
Tevin, manze Arsenal wako na defense ingine, manze tukijaribu strike yao tumeshindwa kupita. Just trying to tell these people are good. They are good. They have come up with systems that no matter how you come closer with your heads, you put together, mumeshindwa to come up with a blueprint that you will chip in and break through from the modern or the European imperialism, the one we are talking about. You're giving credit to white people. The Chinese have been, don't complain and say that black people are the only people who are colonized. Bro, black people are not the only people who are colonized. Indians were colonized. American itself was colonized in 1712.
That's why
China was colonized.
are not
Tevin, in 1970s, 1980s, go on YouTube, find that clip. China was a poor country. We were poor. Kenya was richer than China. Look at where they are right now. Singapore, South Korea, they're all doing great. So this victim mentality, always blaming someone, is the reason we are not making progress. Same thing with Christianity. Is the same problem is doing. You see, whatever with the Christianity, what will happen? Somebody has he was sick of cancer. Amepata cancer, amekufa. Mtasema nini? Oh, Mungu ndiye alitaka aende. It is a coping mechanism. Instead of saying, guess what, bro? This guy, he contracted diseases. He was having unprotected sex. He got STI, nini. He died. Guess what? Let us come up with a way on how we will prevent this spread of these diseases. That is coming up with solution. But the moment we can have victim mentality, you will never make progress. Because every time you will find a way to justify your failures. Every time you'll get a way to justify your failure.
So much.
And that's what he's trying to to say. So then let me come just a minute. Sasa wacha nikuja kwa question yako.
Okay.
I remember the question you've talked about. Just start with the first question. So
I talked about traditional medicine and modern medicine.
Kuna swali uliuliza. Let me start the one that I remember. You've talked about, which is a very good question, which one stuck in my mind. You've talked about that mobile money transfer was invented by Kenya. Who lied to you? Who lied to you? M-Pesa, the model of M-Pesa was invented by a South African white developer by the name of Nick Hughes. Go and check it out. He's the person who came up with that concept. You get, there is a certain, the M-Pesa concept. The M-Pesa was started as a credit mobile lending platform whereby a small credit.
But who was the inventor?
The person who came up with that idea was called Nick Hughes.
Nah.
He was South African and he was white. He worked for Vodafone. Okay? He worked for Vodafone. He was a white person. He narrative ilikuwa na spread around that is a university, this conspiracy theory, and it was a university from, a student from University of Nairobi who invented M-Pesa. It is a false narrative. And guess what? M-Pesa is not even a Kenyan product. 40% shareholding of Safaricom is by Vodafone. I mean a Vodafone, which is under Vodacom telecom network, which is a UK company. 40%, that is the biggest shareholding of Safaricom. So Safaricom, on paper, on paper, Wanga, it is the truth of the matter is what on paper, literally on paper, Safaricom is not even a Kenyan company. On ground, the Wanga mna feel to, hey, Safaricom is Kenya, but the biggest profit goes to outside. Okay, so your mentality, take it out of the window. So let us think on how we, the first thing to becoming better is to agree, okay, we are not doing well. Before even I come up with my point of view, I wanted to ask Kate one thing. He's saying that white people are black people are more intelligent. Kate, proof is always in the pudding. Okay? The proof is always in the pudding. Show me one scenario. Give me one technology during the 21st century. Okay, and tell me, Bethel, hii invention hii yenye tunatumia saizi, it was because of Africans or a black person yenye tunafanya hii. Hii internet tunaongea nayo saizi. These cameras we're using to record, okay? These buildings, invention, engine, automobile, kila kitu. It was done by what? It was done by a black person.
Okay.
I want you to nasema all these things it was done by a white man. Na sasa come up with your concept and niambie, okay, Davison, it was done by a black person and it's really, really helping. We have so many problems in Kenya. You guys, you're so much uncivilized. Just controlling traffic alone, it's a problem.
I think
traffic alone is a problem. We can't come up with a solution to solving traffic. You're thinking about
as we wind up on the next part, on part 2. Allow me. You wanna answer?
Yeah, I want to answer the both. Okay, Davison, I want you to understand something like this. Unaelewa, nikianza a company, that means I'm ready to serve more than 1 million people. Sindio? Can one man serve 1 million people? It's impossible, right? Itabidi nimehire wase. Okay. Unaelewa? So that's when ndo nikasema nikisikia tu storyline yote yenye Davison anaongea kwake, mse mwenye anafanya wash is smarter than a doctor. Unaelewa? Mtu mwenye anafanya trickery business is smarter than a doctor. Unaelewa? Or smarter than ule mse mwenye akona the actual knowledge. Unaelewa? Wewe ukikuja kwangu ni the 1 million na trickery yako, then I'll call you smart, I'll call you intelligent. Unaelewa? Hiyo ni concept yake. Then of course hivyo ndo vile dunia has been viewing things. Unaelewa? That's the perspective dunia iliamua ku look at things. Unaelewa? Okay. But tukisema knowledge ni nini, let's narrow down and find out what is knowledge. Okay. Knowledge is a skill, si ndio? It's something you possess within you. Unaelewa? It's a skill. Utapata let me say, utapata the person who owns the Toyota company ajai hata design Toyota car. Unaelewa? So hana the skill. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But he owns the company. Unaelewa? But he doesn't have the skill. Na since he doesn't have the skill, alikuwa smart enough in his theory kwenda kutafuta mtu akona the skill. So that makes him more smarter than the one with the skill. No. Atulia, mi hiyo na debunk theory ya Davison, unaelewa? Since mimi sijui kufanya kitu, unaelewa, I need to build a house, mimi sijui kuunda nyumba, niende ni hire contractor kuja nijenge nyumba. I have become smarter now than the contractor. Because nimetafuta mse mwenye akona skill ameifanya. If that is his theory, then I would agree with everything anasema. Unaelewa? That's when nimekuambia, but the reality ni hivi. If you can just take the reality for what it is, unaelewa? Mtu mwenye akona do is the laziest person. Unaona, mtu mwenye akona the less skills, akona less everything. But hiyo pesa yenye akonayo, ikona ability ya kubuy skill ya mse. Unaelewa? Asa ndo najaribu kuonyesha. Unajua, reality is money is fake, money is valueless, money is stupid. Unaelewa? Unless you think otherwise. Money ain't real value, ini karatasi. Unaelewa? I can give you $1 million here na nikikwambia usitoke kwenda kununua kitu ya mse, then that money won't feed you. Hapo ndo utajua hiyo pesa ni useless, right? Si ndio? Because you won't do anything. Then chukua hapa hivi na niweke gunia ya mahindi. Bro, you gonna live. Utapika hiyo mahindi, utachoma, utaweka kwa jua. You feel me? You have the real value right there. Unaelewa? Sa money ni kitu fake. That's why ndo nikakwambia mzungu then theory yake na hiyo trickery yake kuunda kitu fake, akaita pesa na kutumia pesa kudeceive. So I debunk that as smartness, which me I have no problem. In fact, that is how everybody looks at the world. That's why nakwambia, unaona hii building, sita acknowledge the contractor, nita acknowledge mwenye alilipa contractor kujenga. You get me? That is the world we are living in. Unaelewa? And that is the bitter truth. But sasa ndo nataka, but ukiangalia ni trickery, tumeforce kuishi in a trickery type of form. Unaelewa? Yenye mtu alikame up nayo. Okay. Unaelewa? Whereby if you have the skill and I pay you, I have the funds. You get it? Now I have the skills. Unaelewa?
Okay,
That's ndo nasema. Sasa mi according to mimi, knowledge is not kwenda kuhire msee. Unaelewa? Knowledge is the ability to do it by yourself. You understand? I have the knowledge to do it. Unaelewa? Instead of hiring someone to write a book for me, I can write it. But unaelewa, kuna ile option ya kuhire msee kuja kuandika. But kama nimehire msee, then I lack the skills. Ni skills za ukijana. Unaget? Ni skills za ukijana mwenye nimeita afanye kazi. These are the skills. Na si zangu, na after ashatoka, mimi si nilimlipa.